Welcome to another YouTube video on franchising your business by myself, Christopher Neufeld of Neufeld Legal, and I am a franchising lawyer. And in this particular YouTube video, we are going to be discussing franchising fees and how they should not be looked on as profits. Now, what I seem to find is that there's two perspectives that people have when they look at the franchising fee that they charge, which is generally in the mid to high five figures. So 30,000, 40,000, 75,000, 90,000 dollars that they charge for a franchising fee. And they either view it as a profit or as an investment in the franchise that's starting up. Now, what I find is the ones that view it purely as profit, they put it aside and this is what somebody pays to get into the system. They don't seem to be all the greatest franchisors at times because their interest is in the short term as opposed to the long term, which is really where it should be at. And where I see the biggest impact and where especially new franchisors should be looking at when they start their franchising systems is they really got to be focused on making especially their initial franchises extremely successful. And that means investing in them. And yes, you're effectively investing with their own money, but you are nevertheless investing in them because as they grow, the processes become more efficient and the businesses become more profitable from both the franchisee's perspective and also as the franchisor through increased royalty fees, increased advertising dollars, increased licensing fees, and just a bigger brand. So what you really need to be thinking about is how do I take this franchising money and what am I doing with it? The fee, where is it going to? Well, now you just got to pay some expenses associated with lining up the business. But beyond that, you really got to figure out how you can assist that franchisee in making their business a success. The intention is that these franchises are going to be around for 20 plus years, which is an extended period of time that's going to go well beyond yourself. And if they become profitable and they become self-sufficient and they avoid controversies with yourselves and with the law and other matters, they're just going to thrive and they're going to be money-making machines. And that's where the great success is in it. You're going to have to still put back money from the royalties into the business, but nevertheless, what you're going to be doing is creating multiple profit centers that you're going to gain from. So you really have to look at this investment aspect of it. Not look at it as a profit for your providing something to somebody, but as an investment. Yes, maybe when you get down to the point of having 30, 40 franchises out there, a lot of that is going to be profit because you develop a system in the front. But really what you want to be doing is creating that investment model. Your profitability needs to be designed to come off royalties. That's where your profit model should be. When you're focusing your profit model on the outset in the franchise fee, you're just setting yourselves up for problems. Now, this goes to a number of legal aspects also that you have to consider. First of all, you want your businesses, your franchisees to really survive and not cause you problems in the first couple of years. Because typically it's in the first couple of years where they move forward or they fail, but they have the greatest leverage to go back after the franchisor. And if you're investing in them and they're becoming profitable, and then things go wrong 4 or 5 years down the road, that's more on them clearly than it is on your franchising system. But if it's happening the first 6 to 12 months, not only will they see it as more on the franchisor, but typically the laws provide better opportunities for them to pursue the franchisor in those early months and early years. So you want to be dealing with that. Another thing you want to be doing is you want to be showing and almost reflecting it that these are not so much franchise fees that are profitability, but these are franchise fees that are representative of investments. I know a lot of franchise systems don't want to be portraying that, at least in their own documentation, because then it creates an obligation. And it's always difficult with obligations to get around them when you're dealing with lawyers. So it's more of an internal matter, that you can document and you can verify. And you can say, look, you're paying a franchise fee. It's really an investment fee. It is not a fee that's going to us to make a profit and we're having it set aside that you're buying into. This is more of a symbiotic relationship. We're taking money and we're putting it into the investment of the whole system because that's what you're buying into. And that provides additional legal arguments. It's not foolproof. In law, almost nothing's foolproof, but it is a basis that you can work off of if ever necessary. But the whole thing is that you want to be showing and you want to be having those levels of success from the outset. You want to be investing in them, working with them. And that is what your goal really, really needs to be. So I hope you take this to heart and you found this informative and you look to use franchise fees in what professionally I believe is the more efficient way of pursuing them and characterizing them, because it's going to be to your business's advantage in the long term. And should you be looking to launch a new franchise, deal with franchising issues, or expand your franchise further, please do not hesitate to contact yourselves. Our information is contained through this YouTube video and in our websites so that you can hopefully make the most out of the franchise system you're launching and create the greatest levels of profitability and satisfaction, not only among the end customers, but also among your franchisees.